Let's talk Yankee baseball. Yankee baseball. Is it more than Soto, Judge, and Garrett Cole? Do the Yankees have a bullpen? Can the Yankees rely on this young phenom who won 16 games this season but has faltered at the back end of the schedule, Luis Gil? Are you going to trust Carlos Rodon with the number 2 start in the slot in the American League Divisional Series? Interesting to see what Yankee baseball is. I mean, there's no doubt that Aaron Judge, legitimate big-time superstar, 55 home runs, 298 batting average. There's no doubt Soto, whether you like him or dislike him, 41 bombs and a 280 batting average. And they got some other guys that can pop long balls, though they seem to live and die strictly on home runs from Soto and Judge. So the Yankees are worth watching. Cleveland. You mentioned nameless, faceless Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Cleveland. Outside of Jose Ramirez, is there anybody who can join me on Fans Forum who can name anybody else on the Cleveland Indian roster? And yet, they're playing in the divisional series. Their team batting average, John, is 238. Outside of Ramirez, really? 49 home runs and 278 batting average. They should have anybody that hits. They do have really, really good pitching. But, so Cleveland is there. Jose Ramirez has kind of dragged them into postseason play. They're kind of dangerous, but I'm sorry, they're not on the same sentence, same level, same plane as, say, the New York Yankees or even the Baltimore Orioles were. Philadelphia, the Citizens Bank Ballpark Bombers. Unbelievable. You look at Philadelphia, it's like home run derby in the batting order. Philadelphia has got 8 guys with double-digit home runs, led by, I can't play left field, but I'm playing left field, Kyle Schwarber, who's got 38. And Bryce Harper, though he's been dinged up part of the season, he's got 30. And you got Castellanos. And you got JT Realmuto. And you got Alec Boehm. Man, they got a lot of guys that can hit a bomb. And then you're going to give the ball to suddenly what's a really good 4-man rotation. I mean, we're talking this whole collection of arms led by Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, and the 2 kid left-handers. Chris Sanchez came out of nowhere, and now they got Ranger Suarez back, and they got the ex-Angel Carlos Estevez in the bullpen. Philadelphia is a really dangerous team. And then there's all things Dodgers. Okay, so I went back and did some checking late last night. I sleep in about 3.5 hours and 2 cups of coffee. So the Dodgers hit 233 home runs this season, right behind the Yankees, 237. Dodgers top of the batting order carried them. That's why the rest of the batting order the whole team has a 258 combined batting average, which is okay. Ohtani, trust me, we're never going to see these statistics again. 310, 54 homers, 130 ribbies, 59 stolen bases, and an OPS somewhere in the solar system.
Amazing.
Ohtani was phenomenal. But he's not the only one. Mookie Ball, Betts, 289 with home runs. Freddie Freeman, 282 with home runs. 1-year rental, Teoscar Hernandez, 271, 33 bombs. And that doesn't count Will Smith, who might be the best hitting catcher, hot and cold, in Major League Baseball. I mean, obviously the other issue is the Dodger pitching staff, because I don't know if the Dodgers have anywhere enough pitching. You're going to give it to Flaherty for Game 1 against San Diego. You're going to be to Yash Yamamoto for Game 2. Flaherty's got a 3.58 ERA. Yash is 3.00, but Yash can only go about 4 innings. And then you're going to trust your bullpen. And then you got Buehler after that with a 5.38 ERA. You got the kid Knack, 3.65. But this is the playoffs. This is not 4th week of the season. And you got Kershaw, who can only pitch 1 inning, maybe out of the bullpen, with a 4.50. So which of those marquee name teams scares you the most?
The Phillies. Yeah, they're the ones that I'm worried about. They knocked us off 2 years ago. But to your point, it's like every guy in that order. It's like Harper and Castellanos and JT Realmuto, and we can go on down the list. They're just loaded. And Nola and Wheeler are so darn good. So that's the team I'm most worried about. I love that the Guardians are kind of there, kind of percolating, maybe something's going to happen for them.
They won 93 games. How's that possible? Look at that roster.
Exactly. Like who else is on the list? Like Roberto Alomar, he retired, didn't he? I mean, so yeah, I'm curious about them. the Yankees are, to me, I like to root against the Yankees and the Dodgers. And is Giancarlo Stanton playing? Is he healthy?
He's got 27 home runs, hitting like 233. He's a shadow of what he used to be in Miami because of the injuries, but he's one of those guys that is going to pop one somewhere during the course of the playoffs because he always pops one.
What's funny is like even in the Padre Atlanta series, they talked a lot about the Soto trade and how the Padres got a lot of great value in return for that. And it's really seems like every day that trade looks a little bit better. But wouldn't it be something if the Yankees get in the playoffs here and they get blown out in the first round, and then Soto suddenly elects to be a free agent, and then the Yankees have got nothing? That's a scenario that may happen.
Yeah, but the Yankees have bank. Yankees have big money budget, abilities to write checks and pay luxury taxes. Unless he's going across the bridge to the Mets, I don't think he's leaving the Big Apple at all. Oh, by the way, sidebar comment, you mentioned that name. So right at the height of the Padres celebration after they eliminated the Braves, and nobody would leave the stadium, and the players came back out and took a team photo in their victorious brown "We Won" shirts, and on the scoreboard over their shoulder, it's this big flashing sign, and the fans start chanting, "Beat LA, beat LA." And I thought to myself, gee, if I was on the air right now, I'd open the mic and say, "Does anybody here miss Juan Soto?" Or I'd open the mic a second time and say, "Look at all this. Can you believe the owner of the Chargers from the first family of football turned his back on this type of fan support to go to Los Angeles and be ignored?" Somebody on Twitter wrote today, the Chargers have less of a following than the WNBA team in Los Angeles. So I thought to myself, anybody here miss Soto? Can you believe Spanos did this, turned his back on this community when they owned this market? Look at what Seidler's All-Stars have done to our community. I'm sorry for the cheap shots, but that's what I feel.
Yeah. Well, you're right. I mean, San Diego loves a winner here, and so I'm thrilled for Padre fans. I think this is great. What they should have put up on the big screen was Clayton Kershaw crying again, and that would get all the Dodger fans upset.
Put up on the screen was a picture of Mr. Seidler. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
So that's where we are there. One other baseball topic before we